First is growth hormone. Or somatotropic hormone. The name is given there. Full form. Is it given there? Growth hormone, you know. I can write the name only of this somatotropic hormone. Growth hormone cell division increase protein synthesis induce growth. So you know that growth is nothing but increase in the number of the cells. So you know that in first chapter growth is limited in animals and unlimited in plants. But in our body growth is continued there. But physical growth is limited up to the certain age. Yes, after 18 years of age, there is no increase in the length of the bones as well as muscles. આપણા બોડીની જે હાઇટ એન્ડ ગર્થ વેઇટ નથી કહેતો, વેઇટ નથી કહેતો, બરાબર? વેઇટ તો વેરીઝ there. હા, weight is not depend on the growth of, so height and weight. So due to elongation of the bones and muscles, due to composition of the muscles and the bone increases, okay, as a result length increases in the bone as well as muscles, leads to increase in the height as well as follow. So I mean to say here that somatotropic hormone or growth hormone increase the length of the muscles as well as bone and increase the girth also. Right? So it induces the growth and more protein synthesis occurs. And as a result here, during the growth phase, up to the age of the 17 to 18 years, we are in the growth phase. And during growth phase, protein synthesis is required. And that's why we are learned with PEM. Protein, energy, malnutrition, Kwashiorkor and marasmus. You read that point, caloric value and protein amount, if it is less, then Kwashiorkor as well as marasmus occurs. Fine? So increase the protein synthesis, promotes the cell division. As a result, number of the cells increases, induce the growth. Abnormalities are two. Abnormalities in the growth hormone. Okay. Growth hormone in adult. Let me clear this. Understand these words? Abnormalities of the growth hormone in child. Hyposecretion. If growth hormone is less secreted in child, we say like that, it causes, yes, dwarfism. Dwarfism. According to the WHO, according to the height and age, weight is decided. According to the age and weight, height is decided. And this is the ideal length and ideal weight. Suppose હું તમને એમ કહું કે 15 to 17 years age group person consists 5 feet height or and 40 to 50 kg weight or 60 kg weight. We say like that. Estimated કહું છું. But WHO એક આખો ચાર્ટ પ્રોવાઈડ કરેલો છે કે એમાં એજ વાઇઝ કેટલી હાઈટ હોવી જોઈએ, કેટલું વેઇટ આઈડિયલી હોવું જોઈએ. That is of the healthy person. બરાબર? તમે તમારા જ ક્લાસની અંદર તમે ઓબ્ઝર્વ કરશો તો કેટલાક પર્સન એમાં આઈડિયલી લેન્થ લેસ હશે, કેટલાકમાં આઈડિયલ હશે, કેટલાકમાં વધારે હશે. બરોબર? સો આને ઠીંગણા પણ કહેવાય ને. હા, ઠીંગણા. અને દર સાયન્સની અંદર સાયન્સમાં હું ભણતો હતો ત્યારે મારો ફ્રેન્ડ હતો, ની બેંક પાસે જાય કેટલો મારી બેંક ઉપર જઈ જાય. આવડો જાઓ. But he's very intelligent, sharp mind. हमारी साथे top 5 marks. Okay, so the less secretion cause the dwarfism, more secretion cause gigantism, bone length is more, body growth is more in child I am talking about. But you know that in adult person no secretion of the growth hormone, but that's why I written here hypersecretion. This is known as acromegaly. Now you are confused. What is acromegaly? Let me clear this. In adult person, actually no secretion of the growth hormone, but along with that abnormally secretion of the growth hormone leads to increase in the length of the jaw, increase the length of the face, finger bones are much more elongated, fingers are larger, toe fingers are also larger. Okay, and this type of the change is known as acromegaly. You search this in Google, find an image. First you enter in the Google and then click on the image and then you write the acromegaly, that you can get the images. You see that you understand everything about the acromegaly. Fine. So face is much more longer due to the increase in the jaw length as well as increase in the limb length. Okay, fingers are much more larger. Fine. So this is about the growth hormone or somatotropic hormone. Is it clear, everyone? Any doubt? Okay, now I can skip the prolactin hormone and prolactin inhibitory hormone for few minutes. Now I can move on the next hormone, that is thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH. I hope it is given there. Thyroid stimulating hormone stimulates thyroid gland to secrete thyroxine, etc. Actually, thyroid gland we will learn in the next lecture. Okay. In the thyroid gland, actually, thyroxine, this is tetraiodothyronine, triiodothyronine, and thyrocalcitonin, 3 hormones are there. Okay, just only one thing you know that about the thyroid gland. So, to activate the thyroid gland, we require iodine, and that's why we take the iodized salt. Okay. Not only that function of the thyroid gland, it has many more functions that we will take it in the next lecture. But the thyroid gland, it is stimulated by this hormone known as thyroid stimulating hormone. Okay. Third, next is ACTH. Understand something else? Huh? See, we have adrenal gland over the kidney. Adrenal gland consists two regions: adrenal medulla and adrenal cortex. Adrenal medulla secrete two hormones, adrenaline as well as noradrenaline. Yes, you tell that no, that fight or flight reaction. That is caused by the adrenaline as well as noradrenaline. That's why these hormones are known as emergency hormones. But these hormones are secreted from the adrenal medulla. Yes, that I will tell you in the adrenal gland. But adrenal cortex, another part is adrenal cortex. It secretes the steroidal hormones known as corticoids. Corticoids. And here, from the adrenal cortex part, the three types of the corticoids are secreted: glucocorticoid, mineralocorticoid, and sex corticoid. Okay, so these three are secreted from the cortical part, and this cortex is stimulated to secrete these many hormones by adrenocorticotropic hormone, which is stimulated by the anterior pituitary gland. Clear? So anterior pituitary gland secrete the ACTH, stimulate the adrenal cortex part only, and stimulate all these hormones from the adrenal cortex. I will tell you the function of this each and every hormone in adrenal gland. Fine? Here only we have to think about that adrenal cortex. It is stimulated by ACTH. Okay? All these hormones come there. Fine? Now, PH is skipped, PIH is skipped. Now, GTH. Okay? actually here in very brief manner. I've written here the reproductive system of human being. Fine, in very brief. See, gonadotropic hormones actually in male testis and in female ovary. These are known as gonads. Whenever you heard the word gonad, so you think about that something related to reproductive glands. Gonads are nothing but the reproductive glands. So in male testis and in female ovary. Gonadotropic hormones are of two types. Actually, much more thing is here, but you understand in brief. Fine. Gonadotropic hormones are two: follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Generally, what happens with the help of the follicle stimulating hormone in male? Here I can combine it with follicle stimulating hormone and testosterone and another hormone, that is ICSH. We have written this in the list yesterday. ICSH full form is interstitial cell stimulating hormone. So what it can do? Here actually ICSH, it is secreted from the pituitary gland, but we have IC. In male, in testis, IC are there. Interstitial cells are there. Interstitial cells are situated in testis itself. Interstitial cell is also known as Leydig cell. So what is the function of the Leydig cell? To secrete the male sex hormone, that is testosterone, or otherwise known as androgen. So actually what happened here, sequentially in this way, ICSH and FSH both are secreted simultaneously from the anterior pituitary gland. I am talking about male. Okay? Wait for a few minutes, then afterwards we will discuss what happened in female. In male, FSH and ICSH both are secreted simultaneously from the anterior pituitary gland. ICSH stimulates the interstitial cells to secrete the testosterone. And with the help of this testosterone and FSH, immature sperms in the testes become mature. And the formation of the sperm, that procedure is known as spermatogenesis. Formation of the sperm is known as spermatogenesis. Now, what happened in female? In female, during menstrual cycle, here menstrual cycle it is of 28 days, ideally 28 days, and we divide the menstrual cycle into 4 phases: 1 to 5 day, 6 to 13 day, 14th day, and 50 to 28 days. Actually, menstrual cycle, it is ideally of the 28 days. This is an average. Menstrual cycle varies from 24 days to 32 days. Whatever, how many days are there, it depends on the hormonal level and psychological level of the female. It varies from month to month. But generally we consider that menstrual cycle is of 1 month. No, it is wrong. It is of 28 days, ideally average. And we divide the menstrual cycle into 4 phases. 28 days divided into 4 phases: 1 to 5 days, 6 to 13th day, 14th day, and 50 to 28 days. Now, during 6 to 13th day, I will tell you in detail of menstrual cycle in 12th standard. Not right now, but the important portion I can tell you here. During 6 to 13th day only, with the help of the FSH, and you know that in the females from ovary, two hormones are secreted, estrogen and progesterone. So, FSH and estrogen both are combined, work together, and only one ovum which was immature, it become mature. Male produced so many sperms simultaneously, but female produced one ovum in 1 month from one ovum. Okay, that's why here I have written that sperms are formed, and here I have written that ovum is formed. The meaning is this: male produce so many sperms, millions of sperms, fine, but female produce only one ovum during 1 month of each menstrual cycle. So during 6 to 13th day, with the help of the FSH and estrogen combined, one immature ovum become mature. Okay, then the role of the FSH and estrogen is over, and now the turn of the LH. Gradually what happened? That LH, I am talking about not this thing, I am talking about this. Because now I can reach at the 14th day. What happened here? So, listen carefully. During 6 to 13th day, everybody up to this it is clear? Is it clear? Clearly? Huh? Okay, now listen carefully. Again, during 6 to 13th day, first FSH and estrogen level both are increases gradually. Along with that, LH level is also increased. So now you know that what is the function of the FSH and estrogen to mature the ovum, which was immature. But on the 13th day or 14th day, on 14th day of menstrual cycle means on the mid of the menstrual cycle, when LH level, luteinizing hormone level is at a peak level, so that mature ovum is released from the ovary, and this is known as ovulation. This ovulation indicates that ovum is released from the ovary and now enter in the fallopian tube for oviduct and ready for the fertilization. So during menstrual cycle, after 14th day, fertilization chances are more, not before. Okay, so FSH and estrogen both are promote the oogenesis, formation of the ovum in the ovary, but on the 14th day of the menstrual cycle, find LH is reached at a peak level. LH is maximum. Suppose example, if any female, कोई female है, there is no chance of the pregnancy in that. In this female, there is no chance of the pregnancy. Might be release of the ovum is altered. So we have to give the treatment of the LH to her. If LH level will be up down, think about that. If the LH will be there at the peak level at the 17th day, so 17th day on that ovulation occurs, not on the 14th day. So 3 days ovulation is late. Ovulation is late for 3 days. After 3 days, fine. And chances of the fertilization is less. Actually, there are so many problems behind no chance of the fertilization, but just I am talking about only one chance here. Fine. So high level of the LH promotes the ovulation, release of the ovum from the ovum. Then LH. So this whole portion is over. Now I am talking about this LH. Luteinizing hormone can control the growth and development of the male and female reproductive organs. Male reproductive organs consist testis, epididymis, vas deferens, ejaculatory ducts, penis, all accessory reproductive glands. And in female, ovary, fallopian tube, uterus, vagina, vaginal opening, and external genitalia, as well as mammary gland. You know that the functional mammary gland is the unique feature of the mammary, mammalian female. So each and every reproductive organs are grown and developed with the help of the LH. This is known as primary sexual character. Primary sexual character means the growth and development of the reproductive organs in male as well as female. And along with that, the LH promotes the secondary sexual characters also. Secondary sexual characters means in male, beard, mustache, shoulder girdle is broader. Fine. These many characters are secondary sexual characters in male, and in female, menstrual cycle, breast development. Fine. These all are known as secondary sexual characters. So primary and secondary sexual characters are grown and controlled and become mature by this luteinizing portion. So here I can stop now. Remaining thing we will take in next lecture. Right?